Now it says we're good. I don't really like. It's great for stagnant. Catfish. Oh, you saw that, Scott. Scott. The baby gator, Brandy. Yeah, God, I said I forget about the little baby guy crossing the road. Oh, hey everybody, if you're live. Sorry, I'm talking to our MWP chat group. This is subscribers here of Mike's Road page. I'm in a rest stop here in Mississippi. Had the best 4 hours of sleep I think I ever had. Big thanks, my buddy Jesse up there in Louisiana. He offered a place to stay last night about 2 in the morning. I was in Kenner. But you know what? I got Sarah's pillow here. I got my taco blanket, and there's something about the last night sleeping in my truck is like the most peaceful of of the week. So I wanted to do a tropical update for everybody. Man, we had internet issues, obviously, as everybody else did. Louisiana, it's tough. Got some crazy moments. Our group chat. Just a few keynotes. Baby gator walking across the road. I saw a guy that caught a catfish that looked like a shark. Uh, I had to cut 2 trees down with my electric saw. Never done that before to get through a roadway. Um, got turned around in floodwater a dozen times. Power lines. I hit a power line once, knocked my CB antenna off, went my window was down, went down the window, smacked me in the face. Uh, Something about Louisiana storm chasing, a lot of trees down. Oh my God, trees down everywhere, and a lot of power lines and a lot of power poles snapped. Then the flooding came out of nowhere. So this storm was different. Every storm's different. This one had its uniqueness, and it was an eventful day for me. That's for darn sure. But truck's running good. I'm on my way home and doing updates as I promised. So we are gonna talk weather. All right. Somehow remember everything that happened. So here's the power outage map. I can't read comments. Currently 382,000 without power in Louisiana. 61,000 without power in Mississippi and Alabama 14,000. If you click on the state, obviously the lower half of Louisiana, you really get an idea of where the power outage is at. Pretty much where landfall was at. So, and it's east of landfall, as we've mentioned before. That the core goes up and the bands, so the east side's strong side. And unfortunately, those east trends that we kept seeing did indeed verify, and this thing went more east. And that flooding in New Orleans last night, oh my God. I was listening to the police scanner, and I could not believe what I was seeing driving on Interstate 10, parking lot after parking lot, hotels after hotels, cars flooded. I'm not making this up. There was 20, 30 cars at this one hotel. And those poor folks probably went to bed not even thinking about it. And they're going to wake up to their cars flooded. Intersections, cars everywhere underwater. Again, listening to the police scanner radio, I don't think they were prepared for that because it was kind of panic in the air with all the road closures last night. This was about 11, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. So there's power outages for that. Let's go back and take a look at Alabama and Mississippi. Mississippi getting some power outages on lower parts too. As our storm went up, bringing up storms. Actually, what's interesting here is the storms because the bands started wrapping around. We had a little dry slot, and the storms wrapped around through Alabama, up into Mississippi, and then we got power outages in Alabama too. Here's what it looks like currently. There you go. Still got spinach, got that dry air coming around, and it's fueling storms. We've had tornado warnings as forecast, and we got a new tornado watch until 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time for a big part of Florida Panhandle northward. And these storms are being fueled by the lowering pressure gradients and the basic nature of dry air mingling with instability. So that's going to be going on through the day. Storm Prediction Center map here. I didn't load this one up. I should have. Let's go ahead and bring it up really close. They just update this around 9 p.m., 9 a.m. Eastern. Let's see here. Let's pull up Southeast FEMA. Here we go. You can see a little better here. So this was updated this morning. So, anybody in that yellow, even the dark green, the feeder bands are real. And that was forecast. It's a big part of tropical systems, always catches people off guard. But that's a big part of the Florida Panhandle, all the way up parts of Georgia and definitely Alabama there. So those are going to be storms throughout the day. So watch your radar. Listen, for that. Here's current radar. There's those feeder bands. Holy moly, right? Look at those suckers. We got some strong ones brewing there south of the Panhandle, rolling northbound. A couple of them are going to impact even the Big Bend. I'm heading that way. I might even get into some of those. Oh, the one man band screwed up. I had this stupid camera up. All right. Sorry. Jeez. The one man band. What can you expect? Um, here's the radar. Okay. Everything I said, visually, you knew what I was saying, right? Here's the current radar. I didn't have it much up. I had the firmware map up, but anyway. Thanks, Shelly. The joys of having somebody 700 miles away. Current radar. Our low center is actually over Mississippi right now. There's these feeder bands here coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. We can really zoom in on these things real quick. There you go. Kind of get a good look here. So this is what we've been talking about. These guys right here, fueling down in the Gulf of Mexico, poling upwards. We've had tornado warnings all overnight this morning, couple on the ground, and it's going to do the same throughout the day. Again, this area right here. Let's go back to your tornado watch, and here's your storm prediction center map for today. Areas in yellow, storms are going to come up. That's your storm prediction center map and your tornado watch. You should have already got it, but here it is for big chunk of the Florida Panhandle upwards towards lower Alabama to 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So there's that. All right. So those are those feeder bands. What else did I miss? Oh, power map. Let's show you that real quick because I was talking to a video full of trees here at the Mississippi rest stop. From a power map, here's what you got: 380,000 without power in Louisiana currently. This is what it looks like. Obviously, the storm went up to the northeast. It shifted farther to the east. We talked about the flooding already. Um, but east side storm, always strong side of the storm. And those are the areas that are impacted. And going back to Mississippi, it's kind of interesting to show this map because Mississippi got feeder bands that were rolling in more from the east because we had it opening up last night and we had storms coming up around through Alabama up into Mississippi. So these are your Mississippi power outages right now. So I don't think I missed anything else. All right. So Brian McNulty had a satellite. We can show you really quick. This is a radar as Francine did that little weird shift. And this is how it brewed. This is the life cycle here of Francine radar through the last couple of days. This was yesterday. Um, and you can kind of see it getting going. Here it is when it made landfall through the night. And again, rain training was phenomenal last night. I've never seen so much rain and cars underwater. Here's the latest map on that. This is estimated rains. So we go to the last 24 hours and you can really see the unexpected rain training. Well, it wasn't unexpected. It's always expected. It's just you don't know who's going to get it. That's the problem with floods. There's Lake Pontchartrain, but look at these numbers. I mean, we're talking, 8, 7, 8, 9, inches of rain 24 hours. There was reports a couple spots that might have got even 10 inches of rain. That was 12 hours, but this general area here, New Orleans westward, just tremendous. This is 9 to 10 inches of rain in the pink here. And that's kind of where I was last night. There's Laplace. I tried to go to Laplace. Here's the problem. Last night, I did film it. You saw some of it on my live, but then I tried to get out and do some video camera. I was walking in 2, 3 foot surge or floods, and to get to where I was wanting to go, hotels and cars underwater, it was impossible. So I didn't really get any good footage of that. But here's Kenner right here. Kenner's right there. That's where I was on Interstate 10 and saw, oh my God. And then Laplace looked really bad on the right. So anyway, you all know about that. Winds are tough. Here's the problem with the winds. There's not a lot of data. There's not a lot of sensors. So we really, where this thing came ashore at, we really didn't have a lot of data. As far as landfalling. I think they said, did they say Terrebonne was the official landfall? I think I read that. But anyway, here's some of your winds recorded, um, with a lot even in New Orleans here. I mean, this is, downtown New Orleans had to be shut down because of the flooding. So you had these, wind, 78 Kenner. That's where I was at. Okay, let's look at the other stuff. All right, so this is flooding yet to come. This system's going to slow down and stall. Um, this is the top right is through Friday morning. Middle is through Saturday morning, and then through Sunday morning. So 3 days, man. Unfortunately, this thing's going to stall. Remember those spaghetti models were showing up and then they were coming back down. Steering currents are very weak, so it's not going to be a system. It's just going to bring a lot of rain. So unfortunately, wet weekend there across southeast, minus the Florida peninsula. The other graphics I got up here. Here's the flood map. This is just showing you the rainfall yet to come through the weekend, and you can kind of see where obviously parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia there. A lot of rain through the weekend. All right, so we do got some tropics to talk about. Somehow my tropics image on Facebook was cached, but it was the exact same numbers. So other than Francine being in the Gulf, it was wrong. So we're going to talk about this here. We're going to, a little too much hype about this system, I think. Everybody likes to jump on the next system. A lot of hype for these two yellow ones. They were red one time, but guess what? They're both 10% now. This is Invest 92 and Invest 94. I mean, that's just the way it is. They fizzled. Now, there are some models that are showing they might not. I'm going to show you that, but NHC's lowered the chances to 10%, and they were both red. Now, we did get Tropical Depression 7 yesterday, and I did update the website by the where did I do that at? Did you all remember seeing the paddle boat? I mean, we had a lot of cool moments on camera. I know it was tough to watch, but I did a tropical update right there looking at some steamboat casino, which you don't see every day. And I did report live from the other side of a levee, and you probably saw me joking with the fireman. I said, please don't close that gate, because I'll be trapped. And so he said, okay, okay. So let's talk about these. Let me close the windows here so I don't lose everything I got. Okay, so here is the latest on Tropical Depression 7. Not expected to be much more in a storm. You can see the general track. I don't know. I mean, we're gonna look at some long range modeling, but it might not be anything. It's a lot of models have this thing curving before Bermuda. By the way, American Airlines, I got my refund back, so thank you. It's ironic I got the Bermuda money back the day of Francine. So anyway, there's Tropical Depression 7. All right. I mean, there's no, we'll watch it. Always do. But that's the current track. So 94. All right. Here's one of our little yellow spots. Now, if it were to do anything, this is the general steering map. Remember, Invest 94 is at 10% from Natural Hurricane Center. And I know it looks small on your screen, but oh well. Everything looks small on your screen. Unless you have a big screen. But Invest 94 tracks there. 10% chance from National Hurricane Center. There are spaghetti models, tropicaltidbits.com. There are a couple showing this thing organizing. There are some that show it fizzling out. So we'll look at all the models here in a little bit, the actual runs. But so, yeah, don't turn your back on the two yellow guys, but they're 10%. Don't stress about the yellow guys. Here's the other little yellow guy. Very few models. This is the one behind 94. This definitely showing a fizzle. Now those other ones that, yeah, this is where intensity models can really stress you out. Uh, 3 or 4 say Cat 3, but NHC's at 10% for 7 days. So this is 5 days out. I mean, so yeah, you know, keep one eye open on 92, one eye open on 94. All right, there you go. Then you got a full set of eyeballs looking at two systems. All right, long range looking. This is your 10-day ensembles. Okay, this is always kind of where I start. This is a really good little tool to see developing trends. We're going to talk about the North Carolina spot. That's why I kind of going here that next. But here is TD7 turning. So no point to hype it. A lot of people with what ifs, but there's no what ifs. That's it. The euro isn't doing anything. The euro isn't even doing anything with 92, 94. Not even one member. So let's not get all worked up when there's nothing to get worked up about. We watch things in real time. All right, let's look at tropical tidbits. We'll look at all the models. All right, tropical. These are. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at these because so the off and on models. So we have a frontal line that lingers. Frontal lines that linger usually are what we see early season, late season. We don't usually have frontal lines lingering in August, September. This has been a weird year. Once Debbie came through, it changed everything. Debbie changed all the Bermuda highs, the patterns. Fronts now started coming down. That front's what's turned Francine northward. The front's what fueled Francine. But anyway, so we got an old front. Sometimes they spin up a little low pressure. The latest Euro's not even doing it, but this is what it could do. This is the latest GFS. And at the same time, we're going to look at TD7 and really nothing in those yellow spots. So here's where we go in time. There's a piece of our front going away. Here's a little piece gets left behind. High pressure blocks it. High pressure spins, pushes it up to the Carolinas. Here's TD7. There's another little piece hanging out by Bermuda. This would be Monday of next week. Here's that little piece hanging out. Little piece hanging out. Here's TD7. And it brings it back up to Carolinas at 1,006. That's nothing. Your thunderstorms are 10 times worse than that. But watch it. There was a couple 990s yesterday. Um, but it would be sloppy. There's a lot of wind shear. You got high to the north. The overnight 00Z here. Let's take a look at that. There's your TD7. There's our leftover low. This is on Sunday morning. And there's a little piece going this way, a little piece going that way. Clint Eastwood, 1,003. Nothing. Well, could be something. Could be subtropical. Could be, but it's weak. We look for anything 1,000 millibars or under to start raising our eyebrows. And then here's TD7. So look at that. Look at that. This almost takes me into Talladega. There's stuff coming up every year. Once you go to, we're not going to go with 300 person. These models can't even predict a week out anymore. Euro, let's check it out. So Euro operational run. There's your TD7, and it's not even showing any Carolina action this run. Zippo, no Carolina, nothing. Yesterday's 12Z did. Did it? Maybe it didn't. Maybe it was 2 days ago. Oh, really weak, 1,008. So, you get the idea. Let's see what our good old buddy Icon's doing. It's lingering a very weak low. So that's what you should be looking at. All right, very weak low at this point. There's 998. That was yesterday though. The trend is today not. Okay, let's zoom in on looking at some rainfall totals. Um, through the weekend, early week. So, well, Icon isn't a good one, but Icon doesn't do inland rain very well. All right, so here's kind of, I mean, if we were to get a little something, something, heavy rain in North Carolina, this is 5-6 inches. Um, there's your lingering leftover Francine. This is rainfall through next Tuesday. Anytime you get the light purple, it gets about 3 inches, 2 inches. So this is that spot. Go to the Euro, you won't even see it because there's no organized system. And we're going to look at the AI. AI did pretty good. And there's a little dot. Hey, there it is. It's just not organized. See, even though it's not organized, it could bring some rain. So there you go. All right, look at that. Through the weekend, early next week, even without a developing system, the euro still shows some sort of lingering leftover low. Lingering leftover low. The three L's that can moist up your weekend. So I don't know. I don't want to talk anything more about it. Lingering lows have a lot of wind shear and they take time. You know, but that's kind of where we're at. Euro AI did really well with Francine, and it's showing you the rain early next week. Not developed though. 1005. 1005. That's nothing to stress about. All right, so no point in looking at the other models at this point because we kind of get a feeling of what we could be looking at. So, by the way, Francine officially was a Cat 2 100-mile-an-hour system. It shifted west. I have not heard. Maybe y'all have heard. I don't know what happened to the last few hurricane hunter missions, but we didn't have any hurricane hunters up there the last several hours. So that's really odd. I remember we were watching. I think one got turned around. Maybe they had mechanical problems. Usually I read about it. I didn't see anything about it. Um, and that's it. I guess, the biggest story now is some possible flooding on our system going north, and basically just storms pulling up here in the Panhandle region northward. There's a tornado warning now for Apalachicola area in the red. So these are going to be producing tornado warnings. This is live current. These feeder bands will be watched, and they'll be happening through the day. Some of those might actually reach the Big Bend area. I might be driving into those things. I'm in Mississippi now. It's good news. Uh, out of New Orleans. I'm heading eastbound. A lot of power going on right now. Oh, the pressure reading. I wanted to take a picture of the pressure reading. Oh, this thing's got history on it. Oh, oh, I'm so glad I did. Oh my God, thank God it has history. Oh, did we just lost on Facebook? All right, we're fine. Well, I'm gonna say my goodbyes. So I got everything in a nutshell. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all support. Big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits for sponsoring our daily brew. We'll be back home getting ready for our meet and greets, and we'll see.